Hey everybody, I'm probably getting this late, so anyway, going to talk about a few things. A lot of this stuff will be a little difficult, I think. Things we got to remember. We're going to be going from polar to rectangular, so R and cosine to X and Y, and vice versa, okay? Going back and forth. R equals cosine theta. I'm sorry, that's not right. Let's start over, guys. Here are some things we need to know. All right, X equals R cosine theta. Y equals R sine theta. And X squared plus Y squared equals R squared. That's the equation of a circle, with the center of my circle being the origin, 0, 0. Remember, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. It's the equation of a circle with the center of h comma k. These are shifts. This would be a shift right and up if it's minus hk, all right? Okay, so the next thing we need to kind of consider is I'll just work a problem. We're going to be completing the square in this case. All right. Here's a problem where I have R equals 4 sine theta. Okay. One thing that's going to help us is sometimes we can multiply both sides by r. If I multiply this by r, I've got r sine theta, which is y. So let's multiply both sides by r. I've got r squared equals 4. I'm going to put this r sine theta. So now, over here, I've got 4y. And over here, I've got x squared plus y squared. Remember, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Okay? So, now I'm going to do a little algebra. I'm going to subtract the 4y from both sides. Okay? Now I've got x squared plus y squared minus 4y, and I'm going to say equals 0. Alright? Now, I'm going to go x squared. I'm going to make a perfect square out of this. What that is, I'm going to have something like y minus, what did I do here? Let's see. Yeah. 1 second here. All right, sorry folks, I got a little distracted. My son came down. All right, perils of shooting a video at home. Okay, so I want something like y minus 2 squared in this format, so it matches up with kind of like this y minus k. Okay, so that's a perfect square, and we can make a perfect square out of this, right? Okay, so this y squared minus 4y, all I'm missing is the last term. Well, if it was a perfect square, it would be this. We would take this negative 4, and I divide it by 2, and I'm going to square that. So that'll be plus, I'm going to add it up there. That's a negative 4 over 2 is negative 2 squared. Okay? That'll be x squared plus y squared minus 4y plus 4. But remember, I added 4 here, so I have to add 4 on this side. So that equals 4. Okay? Now, I can rewrite this. This is what a perfect square would be. Okay? X squared, whatever this is right here in the middle, when we created this perfect square, we divide this by 2, and I got that negative 2, so that's going to be y. All you have to do is y minus 2 squared. Remember, y minus 2 times y minus 2. This is why we can do that. That middle term divided by 2 comes from, when you FOIL, you get a y squared. Your last term is this times this was a plus 4. But your middle term of minus 4y comes from this negative 2y and a negative 2y. You have that negative 2y twice. Okay, and that's why that adds up. So that's why that adds up to the 4. You take half of it. Okay, so basically, I've got x squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 4. That's the equation of what? A circle. What's my center? The h is 0, and my k is 2. Okay, the radius squared is 4, so my radius equals 2. Okay, so remember, completing the square, basically, you take half that, keep the sign, and that's going to go right here. There's half of that and the minus 2, and you put the square up here. Notice, though, you add that negative 2 squared, and that's plus 4, and you add plus 4 to both sides, because you just kind of pulled that out of thin air, so you got to add it over here, okay? So that's one way we went from what? We took, where was I? We took r equals 4 sine theta, multiplied both sides by r, and we ended up with the equation of a circle with this center, okay? Let's do one more, and now we're going to go the other way. Let's see, let me pull another equation out of here. 1 second. Okay, I hit pause, back at it. Here is 6x minus x squared equals y squared. Okay? I see an x squared and a y squared. Let's get them together because that's an r squared, right? Okay? So if I add x squared to both sides, this goes away. I've got 6x equals y squared plus x squared, or x squared plus y squared. What is that? That's x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And how can we write x again? We can write x as what? 6, and I'll write x as r cosine theta. Okay? So this r squared equals that. So let me just kind of move this r squared down. All right, so now let's just divide everything by r. I want to get r by itself. That's for a polar equation. So let's divide both sides by r. This r cancels out. I've got 6 cosine theta, and this r squared over r, this r is going to cancel out, and there's just going to be 1 up top now. We had r times r over r equals r. So radius equals 6 cosine theta. Okay? So there's an example of converting from rectangular to polar, and it gets pretty tricky. We kind of have to go over completing the square. All right, most of you might not see this, but I'll post it on my website and on YouTube right now. It's 7:22, so I'm a little late, okay? All right, bye.